Hi everyone! Ding 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 ding! Welcome to Makoti Chronicles. I am Kathy M. Subego. Hi everyone and welcome back to Makoti Chronicles. I am Kathy M. Subego. Boom, 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 boom. We are back and today I'm not alone. I'm with my very own best friend, my husband, Ubaba Subego. Hi babe.
Hi baby, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. It's been a minute.
Anyway,
I don't know. I was just trying to say it took a whole lot of convincing and a whole lot of load shedding.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to having a real and honest conversation with you.
Okay.
And yeah, thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure, babe. So let's get straight into it.
Yeah.
So not last week, I think 2 weeks back, I had a video up talking about marrying reality and the one.
Oh, you look pretty good.
Woo-wee.
Sorry to cut you. You were saying.
Yeah, I had a video up and we're talking marry reality and the one. But now I wanted a male's point of view on what is to marry reality and how do you know when you've met the one?
Okay. So for me, marrying reality, I've got two perspectives on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Firstly, when a man goes down on one knee and he asks for your hand in marriage, you need to know that when you say yes, what are you saying yes to?
Okay.
Because whatever you say yes to at that moment is going to be your reality forever. Okay. So like I said, I've got 2 perspectives on it. The first perspective is treatment. How are you treated during the dating season? You know, if you are abused, if you are cheated on, if you are lied to a lot, you know, that's going to be a reality when you get married, because that's not something that someone just changes just like that, you know. And if you are taken out on holidays, someone splashes their money on you, you know, and you just being treated like a queen, then when you get married, that's exactly the same thing that you're
treated like a queen.
Yes, because it's already done through dating, and I really advise people to date for quite a long time.
But what is a long time?
A long time can be 2 years, 3 years, because by then you know the habits of a person, you know, and by then I think people show their true colors. Like you said on your other color, if someone shows you that they are blue, you must believe that they are blue. So within the 2 years, 3 years of dating, you are able to see that, okay, my person is this type of person, you understand? As opposed to people that date for 6 months and then all of a sudden they are being asked for their hand in marriage. I wouldn't advise, personally, I wouldn't advise anyone to say yes to that, because 6 months is quite a short period of time for you to be able to learn an individual, you know. But at least if it's 2 years or 3 years, you've already seen a lot and a lot of qualities and weaknesses, and you know where you can complement your partner, you know. before you say yes to that reality. Okay.
But can I just say something there quickly? You're saying like maybe 2 to 3 years.
Yes.
At that time, you're still not living with your partner, and we know that how it is when you're dating to how it is when you now start living together. It's totally different.
Yes.
You know, because I could have been a certain way while we're still dating, and then now we get married or engaged and we move in together, then you see a completely different side.
Not
So you don't-
necessarily. I
you think?
don't know. I don't think you'll see it. Did you see a different side when you got married?
Not really.
Exactly. So what I'm trying to say is, by that time you already know the person's character.
Okay, so we're talking character.
Yes,
Okay.
because the way that person is determines how you'll be treated. So if he's been treating you like that in a relationship for over 2 years, 3 years, then you know when you get married,
He will still
continue
the same
with
thing.
that. Yes,
Okay.
and you already know his character.
Okay.
You know
makes
what
sense.
pisses him off. You know what he likes. You know what you have to do to get what you want. You know what I mean? And that's the reality that I'm talking about. And if he's been abusing you for 2 years and he asks for your hand in marriage, do you think when you leave
You
with
now
him,
know better.
yes, when you live with him, you'll still see the same character because he will abuse you. It's even worse now that you're living
Married.
together. So it's only the two of you. You understand? So that character will never change unless it's a personal decision from that person that I'm willing to change. And also don't now say yes. I'll marry you just because someone is trying to change. You need to see the change, and it needs to be a consistent change, and you need to be sure that okay, this person has changed, not trying to change, because people can try to change just to have your hand in there. You understand? And once you've said yes, then you've got a beast at home.
Beast that you said yes to.
That you said yes to just because you allowed love to take over your mind and you believe that this person can change. But it's a personal decision.
Okay.
So that's one perspective of it. The second perspective of it is like the financial well-being
Okay.
of a man.
Okay.
You get two types of men. You get a man that has money, you get a man that doesn't have money.
No in between.
No in between.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won't go deeper into it. It's either you have it or you don't have it. Yeah, there's no middle for me. So that reality can change. So there you can't really go in marriage because of that reality, because it can change anytime. And when it changes, then you might find yourself leaving because you married that reality. You understand? So that's something that you shouldn't marry for the financial well-being of a person. Why am I saying that? You get two types of men: one that has money, the one that doesn't have money. But the one that doesn't have money tomorrow might have money. The one that has money tomorrow might not have money. And finances always change. That's why you see companies retrenching. I mean, I'm not even talking about an individual now, I'm talking about an entity. Money always changes. It doesn't stay it doesn't stay the same. So yeah, you can't really marry reality on that aspect, because anything can change. And you need to know, when you marry a man that's got money, you need to know the source
Of that money.
so that you don't find yourself in a predicament in future. Because also you might see your man living a flashy life, etc, and it's all debt. And by the time you say yes to that reality, you find yourself inheriting 50%
Of that debt.
of that debt. It's just that the man knows how to finance debt, because debt is financed, you know. As long as you know how to maintain it, you can continue with it for a very long time. So that's the reality. And with the guy that doesn't have money, you might find that what you getting married to in terms of reality is his ambitions, it is visions, it is goals that he aspires to reach one day, and that's what you can get married to. But as a woman, you must see the intent on that man. You must see that he's working towards reaching the goals. Yes, the vision. You know, he's constantly, and not someone who just dreams but doesn't do anything. Then you can't really marry that person, because
now you're getting married to potential.
Yes.
And then when you face the reality of things, you're like, this is not what I signed up for.
Exactly. The person is not even driven to actually reach that goal. You know? Everyone wants a big house. Everyone wants a G-class, a G-wagon, you know. But who's working hard enough
to get
it? Yeah. So that's marrying reality for me.
Okay, so pretty much know what you're getting yourself into, and don't get married thinking that marriage will fix dysfunction.
Yes.
It will probably just reveal it, and whatever you've been tolerating while dating, chances are it will multiply 10 times more in marriage. Interesting. Okay, so when it comes to the one, how do you know when you've met the one? What sets them apart from everyone else?
With sorry, with us men, you only know that the person that you are dating is the one when you are in a relationship with them.
How so?
So you need to date them first.
Okay.
Because 99.9% of the time when we ask you out is because you look pretty, or you fit the criteria of what we want. You know, we need to be attracted to you, or we need to be attracted to you.
Hi bro, manje now was why you again.
I need to people like different things.
Yeah.
So I need to think for both types of guys. Yeah. So
what about the ones?
Yeah, you need to be attracted to. You know, if this attracts you, then that attracts you. So once we are attracted to you and we date you and we realize that there's brains here, you know, well, let me talk for myself, because someone will look for some other qualities. But I know, for me, if, like with you, I dated you because I noticed that there's brains here. You understand? This person will be able to add on what I already have intellectually. So, you know, we'll be able to make sound decisions together. You understand? So that's one quality that I look for. With you, you sacrificed a lot of yourself for the betterment of me. You treated me well, like you took care of me. You went an extra mile for me, you know, and you didn't want anything in return. And for me, that was selfless, you know, and I know I'm also selfless, so that just complemented my character as well. So for me, that's what I looked for. But obviously, I've always liked you because you looked amazing to me, you know. I was physically attracted to you, and when we started dating, then I fell in love with you because of those things. So that's when you know that person is the one, when she ticks all
the criteria.
Yes, all the boxes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you So you tick all them,
You tick all the boxes.
and then that's when you make a decision on,
Yes,
you know
yes.
what, I've met the one.
Yes, but also it's quite dangerous because other people or other men, né? Or let me say most men, we've got our hearts set on one woman. So you can do everything as the other girl, break everything on a silver platter, you know, treat me the best way you know how. But if my heart is set on another woman, then it's just set on another woman. And there's nothing you can do about it. That's why people end up falling in love or sticking with people that probably other people don't approve of.
I'm probably thinking,
Yeah,
how though?
how, yes, but because his heart is set there, that's where he loves, like genuinely.
And that's where he lives.
That's where he'll live, you know. Yeah, so that's another thing, and it's just sad for girls because you do get genuine girls that try their best. I know some of your friends. I know some of your friends that ask you, how Johnny Ganti Manje? How did you get him to marry you? It's like, how did you get him to marry you? No, it's his decision. It will never be the girl's decision. Yeah, if his heart is there, then his heart is there.
True. Interesting, babe.
Yeah, so babe, while we're on this marry reality thing, I've got a question to ask you.
Okay.
So my question is, because everyone thinks when you get married, you just get married to the guy, you know, the man of your dreams.
Yeah.
Eh? The one. Eh? But people, or let me say ladies, most ladies are not mindful of what the guy is bringing with in the marriage, né? And one big aspect for our Makoti or the wives is the in-laws, né? Because now they are going to gain, you know, a daughter. But most of the time, we even see on TV, there's shows just for the Makoti and the in-laws, you know, because it's such a thing. So I want you to advise people that are still going to get married, maybe even the ones that are already married, on why you should be mindful or how you should be mindful of the family that you are getting married into. Because whether you like it or not, those people are going to be part of your life as a couple, you know. And obviously the guy knows how his family is, and the guy needs to teach his family how to treat you, and the guy needs to teach you how to treat his family, you know, so that there's harmony within the relationship. So please give them your 2 cents, and I'm asking because I know you've got your own experiences, you know, which we're probably still gonna get into.
Hectic. So, how can you be mindful? I'd say mind your purpose.
Yeah.
And mind your role.
Yeah.
Meaning, remember that you're walking into this family with favor, that God has trusted you for this family, has trusted you with his own, you know, and he's chosen you out of everyone because he knows that you carry everything that will complement this family that you're now going into. And as much as we pray for a good man, you know, like, God, please bless me with a good man, a man who's like this, who's like that. You need to also pray that you marry into a good family. It's just as important. it's just as important, you know. And I'm saying this because most of the time, that's the last thing on your mind.
Yeah.
His family,
Yeah.
you know. Then you get this good guy.
Yeah. Who's got a bad family.
Who's got a bad family. And you're like, whoa. But God,
Like,
but you weren't specific in your prayer, you know, and you need to be so detailed, because one thing I've learned about God, you'll say, okay, God, so I want a new job. God gives you a new job. You get into the new job and you're like, but God, I'm not happy with the salary. But you only asked God for a good job. You didn't say, God, can I please have a good job? With that good job, let it come with a great salary. Let it come with a great working environment. Can I get along with the people at work, you know? So it's just as equivalent to the guy's family, and it's just as important. You need to be so detailed. But if you're already in or about to get in, I'd just say, mind your purpose, mind your role. Know that you, how am I trying to put this? You are paving the way for your children and the future generations. And with that, they'll be blessed because you are blessed. Because you'll be mindful in everything that you are doing. You'll be mindful in what you're building. You'll be mindful in what you're bringing. But also, the guy's family needs to be just as mindful, you know, because I think at times
of the type of
Makoti, and obviously you need to take time to get to know one another, because I think at times people set unrealistic expectations on the Makoti, you know, forgetting that this is someone who's also coming from another family who's been brought up a certain way with certain values, morals, you name it. You know, she's coming as a full package. She's coming as a full person, as a whole person, you know, so you need to be adding on to that and not expecting her to just let go of everything that she was taught and just adapt to your new ways. Does it make sense? And the guy as well, to avoid the unnecessary drama that can come with it, needs to set the boundaries. From word go, like you said, you need to give a heads up, like, hey, listen, so and so is like this, or like that, or like that. Try avoid this and that, but also let your family know as well that, hey, this is how my wife is, this is what she likes, and this is what she doesn't like. So how can we create this unity, this peaceful space, you know, and work hand in hand together? Although it's always easier said than done, because at times you also find that it's love that's brought these two people together and joining these two families as well, and you'd expect it to be so easy to be kept because it is love, you know, that's above everything else. But then when you're inside, you find that it's actually not the case. And then you're just sitting there asking yourself, but shouldn't love be able to carry us through? Shouldn't be love be able to bring out the best out of each other instead of probably the worst, you know? But yeah, just to cut it short, be mindful of your role, be mindful of your purpose, and know that God has trusted you and wouldn't have placed you there if He didn't think that you were not good enough. Because God only gives His best to those who leave the choice to Him. Yeah.
Okay. That's great. So I'm guessing in a nutshell, you're saying the Makoti comes from a different family.
Yes.
And obviously from that family, they've also brought her up
a certain way.
In a certain way. And now the Makoti is getting married into a different family.
Yes.
The family
She's now leaving.
Yes, the
family.
The family does things a different way from where she comes from. But it doesn't now mean that the Makoti cannot contribute
Yes.
some of the qualities
Yes.
that she's been taught at home.
Yes, because she's coming there to add.
Yeah, to contribute.
You know, she's coming there with her own spices, a massive gun, you know, to add on, to add that extra spice, to add that extra light, to
love.
You know, to just brighten up the place.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. And I think our Makoti should be allowed that space, that opportunity, you know, to play that role.
Yes.
Because
definitely.
I think that's where the clash for most of our Makoti is, because you get to a family and now they start teaching you how things are done there. Like,
and there's nothing wrong though with being taught how things are done.
Like waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. If you were not, if you woke up at 7, Guinea, and you started cleaning maybe at 7 o'clock, and now you are here, you have to wake up at 5 because your Papa Zala wakes up at 5, and he has to clean every time at 5 o'clock. Then you understand. Then obviously at some point you're going to be like, you know, I miss home. But also that's where it's important to get your own space.
Definitely, I was just about to say that.
You need to get your own space where you'll wake up at 10.
Or at 12 if you have to. You know, because I was just about to say actually that my advice, and I think I saw that with us as well, like with our experience and everything, that it's very important that when you get married, move. Like move out and get your own place. Like have that start, have that beginning. It is crucial.
And it's very important.
Extremely important. And I'll emphasize on the extremely important.
And it will save you from a lot.
Yeah, a lot of drama, a lot of traumas, a lot of heartache. You know, because one thing I'm learning is that women leave. You know, like they leave their families fully, but the guy doesn't really leave.
How?
I leave, Shaban Pasekaya, and change Nespomo. I changed my surname, and I'm now coming into your family. You're not leaving your home. Technically, it is just an extension of what's already there. You know what I mean? So it's very important as well for the guy to set that foundation. So from the word go, the guy needs to set that good, solid foundation so that you can also build your own home. You can also have now your own extension instead of building on an extension that's already been there. That's already that already has its own rules, its own ways of doing things, like umakoti, like living with in-laws. Like we went through that, and I think we both learned at the end that it's not good, because at the end of the day you've got probably Mina, who likes doing things a certain way, and then there's your family, who also has a way of doing their things, you know. And then women are very territorial. We are very territorial. So now you've got probably these women in your space. One wants to be heard, the other also wants to be heard. The other's like, no, Guamila. And then the other one is like, but he's my husband. You know what I mean? So no, it's very, very important. The big responsibility is really on the guy to make sure that by the time he says, let's get married, he knows exactly what he's talking about and lays that solid foundation. However, life happens, you know. You probably, the guy could have the heart, you know. It could be what's inside that he really wants to do that. Okay, I'm gonna get a place for my family, but then life happens. You can't now say, no, I mean shadi, because hey, you cannot get me a home. We are begazela. If you really love your person and you work hard at getting to that next phase or step, you can't now.
So you had conflict with your in-laws. And I know how.
I need to sit back for this one. Get my back balanced.
So you had conflict with your in-laws. I don't want to dwell so much on the conflict.
Okay.
Actually, I'm not even going to entertain talking about it because you and your in-laws are in a good space now, right? But the most important part for me is how to manage conflict and how to resolve conflict, because I'm sure there's quite a lot of Makotis that are going through conflicts with their in-laws. Hence, like I'm saying, we even have shows just for our Makoti and in-laws. So how would you advise them to manage conflict and also how to resolve conflict? Because it can be really, really tricky, you know, especially if there's a party that doesn't see they are wrong, you know, from whether it's the Makoti or whether it's the in-laws.
Sure. It's a tricky one. Very sensitive. Because I know at that time I didn't know how everything was gonna end, and I had a lot of questions, and I remember one of them was, is this worth it though? Like, I didn't sign up for this though. Like, it's a lot. You know what I mean? I was going back and forth, but then I went back to the beginning and how the confirmation of you being the one came about. And I had to reflect on it. But besides that, I remember I was quiet one day and I was chilling with my gran, and we're talking, and then she was like to me, King, unale stress. You know how my gran is. How do I stress her? You know, like she's always stressing. And I was just like, no, I'm fine. And she was like, listen, as long as your husband loves you. And she reminded me on how lucky I am, how blessed I am. And for me, that became my turning point, because at that moment I had to now be spiritually intelligent. You know, I had to be mindful of my purpose. And I now had to ask myself, what exactly am I fighting? You know, I had to now have a different eye and look at the situation in a different way. You know, because had I continued looking at it with that I'm done, I'm done attitude, I doubt you and I would be here today. And it goes back again to scripture when it said that the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. You know, so if we weren't a threat
to the
devil, then we wouldn't be under so much attack. You know, because thieves don't break into empty houses. So we had to now be spiritually intelligent. And I think one of the people I know that you spoke to, you know, who also advised, who said, you know what, if you want to be happy, focus on your wife and your kids, and cut out the noise from the world if you guys want to be happy and you want to make your marriage work. Because now, if you entertain the noise, then surely everything is gonna fall apart.
And it's very important, guys, to shut out the noise.
Very.
Because there's many people that will have opinions, different opinions, and trust me, most of them will always side with you. And you might be the wrong one, you know? and most of them will also side with the family, and the family might be the wrong ones, you know. So it's very important to shut out the noise. I'm with you on that one, and just listen to God, you know, because the Bible says the steps of a righteous man are ordered by God, you know. So you only make the next move when God says, okay, now do this, okay, now do that. Just so that it's easier as well to deal with the situation and to be able to fight the devil, because that's who you are actually fighting
Up against.
You're not fighting against people, you're not fighting against the family or your in-laws. It's just the devil trying to bring about that division between something so great and something so wonderful. And when you understand who you fighting against, when you understand your enemy, then you understand how to fight the enemy. You know what I mean? So I'm with you on the don't go around listening to everyone. Shutting out the noise is I think it helped us
a lot.
I think people think we probably distanced ourselves from them because maybe that's my tattoo or that's my food, but it's actually not that. It's just being self-aware and
protecting your peace, your heart, your mind,
guarding your heart, you know, and your mind, like you say, and asking or getting into that sacred place where you ask God for wisdom, you know, to deal with the situation, you know. And I won't lie, it really did help us. And I, for one, I'm happy that you also pushed on your side to make sure that things are fine at home. I know I wasn't for it. At some point, I was like, I'm done. Whoever wants to believe whatever they want to believe, they can believe that. Because you know, with us, we had like so many stories from so many people, and you get a phone call and it's the same story, you know. You get a text message and it's people asking you about the same thing, you know. So hence I decided I won't even have a mobile phone, you know, just to
cut out the noise.
And it really did help. So yeah, I think you were put in the fire, and I'm sorry because I feel also I was part of the problem, because guys, there's no manual on how to be married or go about your marriage, and that's why people go through things, and every marriage gets tested, and if the love is not strong, you'll break, you will divorce, you know. We say it every time, whether it's after 20 years, 30 years. About Bill Gates today, after so many years of separating, you know. But it boils down to the love, it boils down to the understanding, and also it boils down to us as our kwenyana, or the man or the husbands, to make sure Wuti, there's harmony between our wives and our families, you know. And we need to set boundaries with both sides, just so that we can maintain the relationship, because we are the heads, and if we do not take charge, if we do not steer the ship to the direction that we want, we might see that Titanic sink. Yeah.
So I think for me as well, just keeping distance and respecting and loving from a distance brought a lot of change as well to how we even fix, you know, like the whole
shebang.
Yeah, the whole mess, you know. But then, out of this whole thing, I realized as well that no, man, sometimes your blessings are actually wrapped up in your mess.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't compromise the process.
Yes.
You should go through it. So
Yes.
I allowed myself to go through every emotion.
Yes.
And I didn't care anymore on what anyone else was saying, because I knew who I am.
Yeah.
And I knew who God says I am.
Yes.
You know, so I wouldn't allow myself to be defined by other people's opinions on me, because most of the time people don't even know what they think of themselves.
Yeah.
But it's much easier to give opinions
point out.
or point out, you know. I remember my primary school teacher would always say to me, you can always point at the next person, but 3 fingers are pointing back at you. And that's really how it is, you know. But keeping distance, and respectfully so, helped us a lot, you know, because in that space as well, we found ourselves with, like, being surrounded as well by a couple who we saw, you know, wanted the best for us through thick and thin, not being judged, you know, not throwing stones, while living in a glass house. It was testing.
Yeah.
It was the pits.
Yeah. But it taught us one thing.
What?
That we can go through anything. We can fight against anything as long as we are like this, as long as we are united.
Yeah.
As long as we understand the fight, the enemy, and how to fight that fight. And if we didn't go through that fight, I don't think we would know how strong we are, or how strong our marriage is.
Even as individuals.
Even as individuals, yeah. Wow, man. Yeah, so thanks, babe, for having me. I need to say, though, that this is not another channel where you'll be seeing the husband and wife vlog. You know, there's so many of them on YouTube and other platforms. You're definitely doing something different, and I want you to run your race. I'll always be there supporting you from all angles, or helping you grow, and I wish you all the best. I know you've got it in you, and let this assignment, because that's what it is, let this assignment bring about change in how our Makoti view certain situations in their marriages, so that you can probably have that little bit of contribution into helping or saving some marriages out there that are going through, you know, the most. And guys, my wife looks young, you know. she looks young, but she's not.
I am young.
She's a bit young.
Forever 16, guys.
Really?
Yes.
My wife looks young, but she possesses some of the most greatest advices. I wouldn't be surprised if you end up empowering older women than you know. And through the 5 years that we've been married, we've experienced quite a lot and shared with the world, you know. Save marriages through what you've experienced. And yeah, may God cover you and elevate you constantly.
Thank you, baby. Bluetooth. Off camera. Oh wow. Thank you so much, babe. That means a lot to me. And that is how we close it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the notification bell, and comment.